Welcome guys to another episode of WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. My name is Kaisah Wrestling and we're coming to you today with today's NXT. As you know, our main event is going to be a #1 contenders match to find out who's going to face the Revival at NXT Takeover Dallas. This is going to be TM61 versus DIY. This right here is the first of our two #1 contenders matches tonight on NXT, as we know that it's going to be Billie Kay taking on Mickie James in a Falls Count Anywhere match to find out who's going to be taking on Asuka at NXT Takeover in Dallas for the title. As we know, Billie Kay and Mickie James have not been getting along at all, and they kind of want to settle their differences right now in this Falls Count Anywhere match. So this match will get absolutely out of control. I can already tell, because both of these women are so hell-bent on challenging Asuka for that championship. You have to give Billie Kay some credit though. She was very impressive in her match at Takeover London. It was a triple threat match featuring the women's champion Asuka, Billie Kay, and Mickie James. And I gotta say, we thought that Billie Kay was the underdog, but she turned out to be very impressive. So what's gonna happen now is here comes Mickie James. As Mickie James, as impressive as it gets, former women's champion in her own right, but she came here to NXT a little while ago because she kind of wanted to rejuvenate her career. She wanted to start from the bottom, and she knows that the only way that she'll be able to get to the main roster is if she goes through Asuka and takes that championship away from the Empress of Tomorrow. Asuka, of course, as impressive as it is, one of the most dominant champions in all of WWE right now, as we have a whole bunch of champions, a whole bunch of dominance going on NXT. But who's going to be the woman to challenge Asuka for the title at Dallas? So now we have Billie Kay versus Mickie James. Huge night in store for you guys on NXT, as we have our #1 contenders match to find out who will face the Revival. And our main event is going to be TM61 taking on DIY. So could Gargano and Ciampa get a victory over Shane Thorne and Nick Miller to get themselves another opportunity at Dash and Dawson, as we saw that they were not able to get the job done in London? So maybe they'll take it a little bit more seriously this time if they do get a second chance. As there goes Mickie James with a back suplex. So Mickie James, we all know that when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, she knows how to get the job done. So I think this is going to be a very hard challenge for Billie Kay. I mean, I'm not going to underestimate Billie Kay, because we've seen that she could be as dominant as ever. But Mickie James, a former women's champion, she's beaten the likes of Trish Stratus, Candice Michelle, Melina, some of the best women in WWE history. So what is Billie Kay thinking right now? She has to think to herself, could she really beat Mickie James? Well, if you ask Billie Kay, she will tell you on any given day that she could take Mickie James with no problem. But this is going to be her true test, is Mickie James with another jawbreaker. So we were talking about what's in store for you guys on NXT tonight, as we're also going to be hearing from Shinsuke Nakamura. I wonder what Nakamura is going to have to say after that grueling loss at Takeover London in that fatal 4-way #1 contenders TLC match. As I know, Shinsuke Nakamura was looking forward to probably challenging Samoa Joe at Dallas, but instead it was Bobby Lashley who won that match. And we saw Lashley team up with Magnus last week in the main event to face off against Samoa Joe. And I think it was Bobby Roode. So that was a really good main event. So we have 2 tag team main events in a row here on NXT, but that is going to change, because next week, as word of NXT temporary general manager, Mr. McMahon, it is going to be Bobby Lashley going one-on-one with Bobby Roode in our main event. So those two men, they definitely have a lot of issues to settle as well, but I think Bobby Roode has definitely escalated his situation with Magnus to the extent. So I wonder what's going to happen there, as we haven't really heard too much from Samoa Joe on his match against Lashley in NXT TakeOver in Dallas. But NXT TakeOver Dallas is coming to you guys very fast. In 2 weeks time, we're already going to have our second NXT pay-per-view. And as I told you guys before, I did screw up on the calendar, so that's why there's back-to-back takeovers. But there's going to be a point where there's going to be a 2-month gap, which I will take the authority and the responsibility to create a minor show to feature the NXT Championships, so do not worry about that. I definitely have that in the process. I'm thinking about how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'm just going to do a main event show, or I'll just do maybe a little bit of a house show, a WWE live event. Depends on what you guys want, so definitely leave a comment in the comment box to let me know what do you think would be best. So now Billie Kay trying to get herself back in this match as there was a neck breaker spinning Mickie James onto the back of her neck. As these two women have not really taken to the outside as much yet, this match hasn't really reached the crowd. But I don't know if it's going to take that much to defeat either Billie Kay or Mickie James. Oh my God, there goes that jumping neck breaker. As right now, Billie Kay may be out of it. Mickie James may be going to Dallas right now. And Mickie James almost getting the victory. The referee's hand went down for the 3 count, but Billie Kay was able to get her shoulders up. As now, what is Mickie James looking for right here? Is Billie Kay trying to struggle to her feet? As now, there goes that jumping DDT by Mickie James, and good night, Billie Kay. She was completely taken inside out, legs all over the rope. But wait a minute, Billie Kay kicking out at 2.5, and that right there is just what I'm telling you. I myself just underestimated Billie Kay, and she proved me wrong yet again. Now here comes Mickie James from the top. There goes an elbow to the chest. It's Billie Kay in a world of trouble. Mickie James has been looking very good in this match. She's definitely have not had to use any of the toys, any of the weapons to really deliver damage to Billie Kay. So I'm sure that neck breaker took a lot out of her as it is. She's having a hard time getting back to her feet, which is going to be bad news. As now there goes Mickie James, but no, Billie Kay responds with a clothesline. And there was a kick right to the lumbar region. As now Billie Kay trying to get herself back in this match, and look at that, forearm right to the face. And now Billie Kay adding insult to injury, wiping her eyes, just like Mickie James is crying. And now Billie Kay stalking Mickie James. Will she be able to hit her? Hey, there goes the big boot. Mickie James is out. There's no way she's going to kick out of that. That is the end of this match. As now Mickie James just lost her opportunity against Asuka. No! She kicks out at 1.5. So this is exactly what I'm telling you guys about. It's the women's action on NXT is actually pretty damn good. I mean, definitely we have our share of female competitors on Raw and SmackDown that have been completely just taking the show away, like Nikki Bella and freaking what's her face? Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch. I'm sorry about that, guys. Just so much superstars to keep hold of, so much superstars to keep tally of. Like sometimes I forget who's on which brand. But yes, on SmackDown, Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch are making history. On Raw, we just had a new women's champion crown in Alicia Fox. So I wonder how that's gonna turn out with Charlotte. So now look at this. I thought that was a move for Mickie James, but instead Billie Kay with the counter to the eat defeat. As now Mickie James looking up at the lights, but there goes a kick out at 1. And that right there just tells you the toughness of Mickie James. Is now what is Billie Kay doing? What is she planning on doing right now? Is she's just scouting Mickie James, and there we go. There goes the toys. And I was afraid that she was going to introduce that sledgehammer, but there goes Mickie James fighting back, now allowing Mickie Kay to use that. And now Billie Kay into the ring after the neck breaker. Mickie James may have it here, but she doesn't go for the cover. So now Billie Kay in a world of trouble. If Mickie James can land that DDT one more time, she will be going to Dallas. And now there goes Mickie James in the air, and Billie Kay gets driven. Jumping DDT by Mickie James, and she will be challenging Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship as Mickie James gets the victory over Billie Kay today. Congratulations to Mickie James, as now you can tell that her career is starting to spike just a little bit. She came here for a career resurgence, and that is exactly what she's going to be doing as she challenges Asuka one-on-one in Dallas for the NXT Women's Championship. What a match between these two, as they did not hold back at all. But Billie Kay was just not able to keep Mickie James down for the 3 count with all those devastating moves. Billie Kay definitely tried her hardest, but at the end of the day, it was Mickie James with the victory over Billie Kay. And that right there, boom, jumping DDT. Billie Kay looking up at the lights, and that was it. The sledgehammer was in the ring as Billie Kay was going to attempt to use that on Mickie James, but it just did not work. So there you have it. Mickie James we'll be getting another championship opportunity at NXT Takeover Dallas. Hopefully she will be able to dethrone the Empress of Tomorrow. We'll only find out in 2 weeks in Dallas. Well, look at what's going on in the back here, guys. As Samoa Joe and Lashley in the locker room right now, and Samoa Joe is just destroying Bobby Lashley with that steel chair. And we were saying that we don't know how Samoa Joe feels about this challenge, but right now, he is making his feelings known. It's Bobby Lashley getting completely destroyed, but Lashley now trying to fight back. As, oh no, Samoa Joe, tossing Lashley right into that cubby. And now look at this. This is why Samoa Joe is so dangerous. He attacks you at any given time. And no, Bobby Lashley in a world of trouble. This right here could cripple a man. Lashley up on the shoulders, and oh my God, Samoa Joe just destroying Bobby Lashley, the NXT champion, making his presence known. We have awaited the arrival of the King of Strong Style, and here he is. And I wonder just what Nakamura is going to have to say about what happened at NXT TakeOver in London, because Nakamura had a huge opportunity to get the shot at Samoa Joe, but he was just not able to get the job done. I mean, this man, he's been through hell and back over the last couple of weeks on NXT. And I honestly feel a little bit bad for Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, he's tried the hardest that he could, but he was not able to defeat Elias Sampson in the NXT Championship tournament. And what makes that even more embarrassing is the fact that Elias Sampson did lose to Magnus. So Elias Sampson didn't even get the chance to face off against Samoa Joe. So Nakamura coming out here tonight looking as royal as ever. This man is very impressive. I mean, despite his losing streak as of late, he's been very impressive. There is nobody else besides Shinsuke Nakamura that really drives the crowd. This man's charisma is out of this world. So I know Shinsuke Nakamura is definitely going to have a huge announcement for the NXT Universe. A lot of people were hoping that Nakamura got that victory, so he would be the one challenging Joe for the championship. But unfortunately, it was not able to go Nakamura's way. So what will the King of Strong Style have to say to the NXT Universe today? What I want to talk about today is a very serious subject. A subject about my future here in NXT. As you know, I was not able to get the job done at NXT TakeOver London in that #1 Contenders match. And I honestly feel completely horrible about it. But it's not really that bothers me the most. What bothers me is what happened to me before that. And that was in the NXT Championship tournament. So as you know, I made it pretty far. But when I got to Elias Sampson, I was just not able to pull out the victory. And honestly, I don't have a problem with Elias Sampson. My only issue is that I just feel that I need to prove something to myself before I even consider maybe going after Samoa Joe in the future, or even Bobby Lashley for that matter. I need to know that I could beat Elias Sampson. So I really want to call Elias Sampson out here tonight to challenge him in a match at NXT TakeOver in Dallas. And it's not because I have issues with you. It's because I want to prove to myself that I can beat you. You've been the only competitor that's been holding me back, and I want to end that in Dallas. So if you can, come out here tonight and accept my challenge. Well, here comes Elias Sampson right now, but he doesn't really look too happy. As Nakamura just calling out Sampson, saying that he wants to just be able to defeat him fair and square. But I guess Elias Sampson took offense to that, as the crowd is definitely not showing their approval for Sampson at all. Sampson now coming into the ring. And we know that he defeated Nakamura one-on-one a couple of weeks ago on NXT. With all due respect, Shin, I have nothing to prove to you. I've already defeated you one-on-one. And all these people saw it. All these people know that you're not better than me and that I'm better than you. And yes, I know I said before that I was going to be turning over a new leaf, but I don't care about that anymore, because I realize that these people are not worth my time, and neither are you. I came out here in the most respectable way. I came out here addressing that you were the better man. I came out here looking for a challenge and looking for a fight. But you decide to take the easy way out, because you know that if it comes to a second match between you and I, you will not be leaving the winner. So I respect you for being a coward, but what I don't respect you for is being a jerk. Really, Shinsuke? Being a jerk? Is that the best that you have? Is that the best that they taught you on the way over here from Japan? Look, you're a little man in a big pond. You're a little fish in a big pond, if I should say. People like you don't survive here. People like me thrive off of challenges from people like you. So honestly, you know what? I will accept your challenge for Dallas, just so I can have another chance to embarrass you in front of all of these people. Go ahead, talk all the crap that you want. Talk about how I'm an immigrant. Talk about how I don't matter. Fine, Nakamura, because you don't matter. It's the truth. Nobody cares about you here. Nobody even wants you here. You can't beat me even if you wanted to. So you're only burying yourself. You're only deepening the hole in your career by challenging me to another match. You're not going to last a chance in the ring with me again. So I will tell you what. Take your match. I will take you on, and I will defeat you at Takeover. Elias Sampson, I had enough of this talk. I don't want to hear any of these words coming out your mouth. If you want to prove something, jump right now. I'm ready to fight right now. I don't even think we should wait to take over Dallas, because I just want to smash your face in with this mic. So jump at me. Take this challenge. What do you say, Elias Sampson? Are you going to grow a pair and actually swing? I'm not going to please these people. I'm not going to entertain you or anybody in this ring. I'm going to do this on my time. And my time is at NXT TakeOver Dallas. I want a huge crowd around to see me destroy the King of Strong Style once and for all. And that you're going to be leaving NXT with your head down, knowing that there's men better than you. And I am that man that is better than you in every single way, Nakamura. Well, Nakamura having enough of Sampson's words as these two stare at each other. Will they wait till Takeover? So look at this. I believe the level of disrespect that Elias Sampson just had for the King of Strong Style is he literally just called him an immigrant. But nonetheless, those two will be going one-on-one in a rematch at NXT TakeOver Dallas. Who's going to leave with the victory as we get to our #1 Contender's main event. It is a tag team match, as it is DIY challenging TM61. And honestly, this is a huge match right here, because we've yet to see this on the actual NXT. So who's going to leave on top? Both of these teams have a lot of momentum, as DIY just coming off of a challenge at NXT TakeOver in London. They were not able to get the jobs done. But here comes TM61, as these two men have a victory over Dash and Dawson. These two guys actually defeated the Revival the week leading into the Payback, not the Payback pay-per-view, the NXT TakeOver London pay-per-view. So will TM61 be able to battle their ways into the #1 Contender spot? They have a huge challenge in DIY. So there's Nick Miller, that's Shane Thorne to your right. Who's going to be leaving with the victory today? Is a lot has just happened here on NXT today, as we saw what happened with Bobby Lashley earlier on, as Samoa Joe attacking the Destroyer in the locker room, and then what just happened with Elias Samson and Shinsuke Nakamura. Jesus Christ, Nakamura literally came out here making an open challenge, a friendly challenge to Elias Samson, and then Elias Samson turned his back on not only the WWE Universe, but himself and Shinsuke Nakamura, saying that he wants him out. He doesn't want the King of Strong Style hit anymore. He wants to finish him off for good. As now here comes Thorne with an attempted suplex, but Johnny Gargano seeing it coming, and there goes a back suplex. So we had an interview with the Revival a little bit before this match, asking them who would they rather face, and honestly, Dash and Dawson responded saying that it doesn't matter, because whoever wins this match is going to be mainly disappointed at the pay-per-view, because they will not be able to defeat the top guys. And a lot of people thought that Gargano and Ciampa were going to get the job done against the Revival, but they just were not able to do it, as Dash and Dawson's with that Shatter Machine was too much for Tommaso Ciampa. He was the one who got pinned in that affair. As now there goes the tag to Nick Miller, and Shane Thorne with a brain buster there, as now Nick Miller helping his partner back to his feet, and now continuing the attack on the Tommaso Ciampa. So TM61, very talented group, Australian group, getting signed to NXT not too long ago, but they do own a huge victory over Dash and Dawson. So the tag team scene on NXT has definitely been alright. I mean, we're trying to add a couple more tag teams just to bring the tag team affair to life here on NXT, as we have TM61, DIY, the Authors of Pain, Sanity. We have, of course, the champions, the Revival, the Briscoes just getting signed a little while ago. So we have a lot of tag teams here on NXT with hidden potentials. We're going to be seeing them mainly later on. These two teams right here are crowd favorites, but both of these teams want a shot at Dash and Dawson. Both of these men want to derail the Revival at NXT Takeover Dallas. So we're going to find out if we're going to add another match to that card, as the Takeover Dallas match card is looking absolutely phenomenal at the moment, as we have Magnus versus Bobby Roode. We have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Elias Samson. The winner of this match taking on the Revival is going to be Mickie James challenging Asuka for the Women's Championship. Samoa Joe versus Bobby Lashley as our NXT main event. And then we also have our little cruiserweight matches, as we're going to have Kota Ibushi going against Alex Livix. And then we have a fatal 4-way for the Cruiserweight Championship, featuring Lindsay Dorado, Tony Nese, Cedric Alexander, and either TJ Perkins or Brian Kendrick. After the next episode of 205 Live, we're going to find out who the Cruiserweight Champion is, so definitely do not miss that episode of 205 Live, as there goes Gargano with the cover on Miller. Nick Miller able to kick out. There goes a drop kick right to the back of the neck. One thing about both of these teams are that they are heavily in sync. They trust each other to the 150%. So we're going to definitely see a great tag team match between these two. And there goes Shane Thorne knocking Gargano off the top rope, as you had to expect that to happen if you're Johnny Wrestling. He was just not able to see Shane Thorne there, I guess. I guess he thought he was a ghost. So now Gargano tosses Miller into the turnbuckle, but Miller able to respond quickly. As now there goes Nick Miller picking up Gargano in a running power slam, dropping Johnny Wrestling right on his spine. Both teams are major threats to the Revival. There goes a spine buster there by Nick Miller. As now Miller measuring Johnny Gargano. What is he going for here? As he was going for a right hook to Johnny Wrestling. Gargano able to counter with a right hook of his own, and now Gargano just standing there, but he keeps countering Nick Miller. As I don't know if Johnny Gargano has anything left. May have to make another tag to Tommaso. And there goes another jawbreaker by Gargano. He's fighting off Nick Miller as much as he can, but Miller just too impressive as he tosses Gargano back into his corner. As now there goes the tag made to Shane Thorne. What is going to happen here is now using him as a springboard. There goes flying leg scissors right to Johnny Gargano. As Gargano may be out of it, but Thorne not going for the cover, as I guess he wants to do a little bit more damage to Johnny Wrestling before going for the cover. So we have definitely a great event for NXT next week, as this is going to be Roode versus Lashley. Definitely do not miss that match. Hopefully we're gonna get some answers from Samoa Joe about his attack on Bobby Lashley. But I don't even know if Lashley will be in condition to face off against Rude next week. But that is gonna be something else. As now, there goes Shane Thorne pounding away on the head of Johnny Gargano. As now, here goes a tag made to Nick Miller. TM61 has looked very impressive in this match. Tommaso Ciampa trying his best to cheer on Johnny Gargano, but how much more does Gargano have? So now there goes another elbow by Miller, and then a back suplex maybe, and instead an inverted atomic drop. Right onto the tailbone. You see Johnny Gargano's in a world of trouble, and now a stomp by Nick Miller. Things are looking pretty ugly for DIY right now, as TM61 definitely has the advantage in this match right now. There goes scoop slam there by Miller, tossing Gargano a quarter of the way across the ring. Now there goes a cover by Miller. Ciampa able to break up the cover. Thorne was running in to help, but was not able to get there on time. As now Tommaso grabbing the head of Miller, and look at that, Nick Miller taking out Ciampa and Gargano. TM61 looking very good in this match. And there goes another scoop slam there for Ciampa. Now Gargano trying to make his way back to his feet, and Nick Miller like a one-man wrecking crew, just destroying both members of DIY. There goes a clothesline, and another right there for Gargano. Is now Tommaso Ciampa was trying to swing at something. That power slam dropping Gargano. As now there was another spine buster onto Johnny Wrestling. TM61 may be catapulting their way into the Tag Team Championship spot. As now there goes another cover by Miller, but Tommaso Ciampa not allowing it to happen. As the Psycho Killer breaking it up for DIY. DIY has not really gotten a lot of offense in this match. They really need to deliver something huge. As now Gargano wrenching the arm of Nick Miller. All Tommaso Ciampa could do is watch as his partner gets dissected. As right now Johnny Gargano, what is he at playing here? Tossing Nick Miller into the corner, but Miller with another elbow. I always say that Nick Miller needs to make a tag soon to Shane Thorne, but Nick Miller has been able to hold off Gargano and Ciampa separately. As now what the hell is going on here as Gargano picks up Nick Miller, and into the second rope, or into the second turnbuckle goes Miller face first. Gargano may be able to get the cover here if Shane Thorne can't break it up, but Thorne breaks it up. He's there on time. That move right there may have just knocked out Nick Miller. This may be DIY's chance of coming back in this match. They have not looked the goods. As now Johnny Gargano was going for something big, but Nick Miller able to see it coming. And there goes another counter by Gargano. What a tag team match we have going on right here. Both of these men want a chance at those championships very badly. Now what is Nick Miller playing here? Going for a standard suplex instead of brainbuster, dropping Gargano right on his head. Is now Nick Miller looking for something big. Will he be able to put Johnny Wrestling away? There goes a right hook to the face, picking him up right into the Blue Thunder Bomb sort of move. That was a spinning power bomb onto Gargano. Now Ciampa runs in, and Ciampa breaks it up. Shane Thorne was not able to come in quick enough. And now look at Nick Miller again, going for another huge move. But Gargano with a huge counter. Johnny Gargano needs to make that tag to Tommaso Ciampa very quickly. As now here comes Shane Thorne and Nick Miller yet again. As now, look at that, elbows in stereo, dropping down Johnny. As now Tommaso Ciampa needs to get in there to save his partner, and he does. Nick Miller, I don't know what the hell he was doing. He just watched Tommaso Ciampa go right by him. Johnny Gargano's in a world of trouble, guys, as he had one chance to make that tag after driving Nick Miller face first into the second turnbuckle, but ever since then he has not been able to capitalize. There goes a neck breaker by Shane Thorne. Very dominant performance by TM61. If I was Dash and Dawson, I'll be paying very close attention to this right here. Thorne and Miller looking very impressive against DIY. DIY are number one contender material. This is not a small team, and there goes attempted cannonball there by Shane Thorne, and here goes the cross face right onto Shane Thorne, but I think Thorne's foot hit the rope, and there goes a tag to Tommaso Ciampa. This may be the chance for DIY to come back in this match if Ciampa will be able to capitalize on Shane Thorne. There goes a cover by the Psycho Killer, and there goes a kick out at 1 by Thorne. As now Tommaso Ciampa sees what he has to do, but just like that, Shane Thorne with a knee right to the face. And now here goes another cover right onto Tommaso, but Tommaso able to power out at 1. This is one hell of a tag team match on NXT, guys. What a main event we have going here. A lot of craziness happening today. As now Shane Thorne, springboard senton right there. As now Nick Miller may be getting the tag right here. Shane Thorne brings in his partner, Nick Miller. Tommaso Ciampa looking up at the lights. He needs to come back in this match. As now here goes Ciampa with an attempted suplex as Miller counters with the knee right to the head. As now what is going to happen here? Nick Miller picking up Tommaso. He's going to drop him down for another suplex. Stalling suplex by Nick Miller. One thing about Nick Miller is he's a pretty big guy. A lot of people don't give him credit for that. There goes another kick out there by Tommaso Ciampa. DIY has been absolutely decimated in this match. If TM61 does not get the victory here, honestly, I cannot say that Tommaso and Johnny look like the potential contenders. And there goes another flying leg lariat by Shane Thorne. Tommaso Ciampa just falling to the mat. So now Johnny Gargano needs to get in this match and save this for his partner, but does he have anything left? Tommaso's down, and there goes another kick out at 1. Tommaso Ciampa is a machine. He's kicking out of all of TM61's best moves. Is now Shane Thorne was thinking about going for the elbows, but instead Tommaso Ciampa able to get out of those leg scissors. As now look at this, and the discus clothesline. There you have it. Tommaso Ciampa may be able to get this victory for DIY if he's able to capitalize. Grabbing Shane Thorne by the head, going for an attempted suplex, but no, Thorne with a counter, and there goes another suplex by Shane Thorne. Tommaso Ciampa's leg hitting the rope on the way down. This is really bad news for DIY if they cannot counter this. Shane Thorne on the top rope, but now he sees Ciampa trying to crawl to his corner, and now Shane Thorne stomping right on the legs of Tommaso, trying to keep him away from Johnny Gargano. Gargano still doesn't even look like he's 100%. Nick Miller now in the corner. I thought Shane Thorne was probably going to go for a tag, but I don't think he's going to need to, as Tommaso is down. He has nothing left. Jawbreaker there by the Psycho Killer Ciampa, and now he was going for a kick to the gut, but just like that, Shane Thorne able to counter again, and look at this, right into the cloverleaf, as right now, Tommaso in a world of trouble, and I think Nick Miller accidentally hit his partner, and that made the break. Johnny Gargano had no idea what was going on, so Nick Miller may have just cost himself a chance at the tag team titles. As now there goes Tommaso with another attempted suplex, and he gets it this time, driving Shane Thorne into the mat in his corner. He needs to make that tag to Gargano, but I think Tommaso Ciampa trying to keep this going on his own. Is now what is Tommaso Ciampa going for? Is now Shane Thorne may be in trouble if he does not look beside him. And now look at Ciampa picking up freaking Shane Thorne and drives him down. Double knees to the back. That was a modified lumbar check right to Shane Thorne. That may be enough. And DIY able to get the victory. They do not look like #1 contenders though, but they were able to defeat TM61. TM61 very impressive today. You have to say that was one of the greatest performances in TM61's career, even though that they were not able to get the victory over DIY. TM61 very dominant in this match, but at the end it was the modified lumbar check that got the victory over TM61, as Tommaso Ciampa drove the knees right into the back of Shane Thorne, which knocked the air right there out of Shane Thorne, and that was it. Shane Thorne had nothing left in this match. So that right there, you have it, guys. Those are your #1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. As now Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder have another date with DIY. Will they be able to put them away? DIY, very impressive today on NXT. Well guys, that is our episode today. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment box. We'll be coming to you very soon with NXT Takeover Dallas.